45-year history. Maximum Security, the first to cross the finish line, but losing to Country House.
The horse that crossed the line first has been disqualified.
The chaos and the questions this morning over that decision that turned a long shot into a champion, and what the winning jockey is saying this morning.
Plane investigation. The NTSB looking into what caused that jet to skid off the runway, landing in a river. Shaken passengers sharing their stories now.
I think God had his hand on that plane, and that's why I'm sitting here today.
What the flight data recorder could reveal.
Fiery crash, a bus erupting in flames on a California freeway after a multi-car accident. How the world-renowned choir on board kept their composure to perform just hours later.
Fight over treatment. A 3-year-old boy with leukemia removed from his parents' care after stopping their son's chemotherapy.
This is about human rights and our rights as parents to seek other options.
Why they are seeking alternative treatment.
And rideshare protests. Thousands of drivers in several major cities now planning strikes and job actions as Uber launches its IPO. The gripes of the drivers and how this whole mess could impact your travel plans.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning and happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy to you.
Yes, happy Sunday.
We start here with that astonishing twist at the Kentucky Derby. For the first time ever, a winner has been disqualified because of interference.
Yeah, there you see the horse, the name, Maximum Security. This is right after, quote unquote, winning the race. The whole team celebrating, but 22 minutes later, the decision came down. The victory was yanked.
And here's that controversial moment from the race. Maximum Security accused of committing a foul in the final stretch. This morning, we meet the new long shot winner of the Derby. ABC's Zachary Quiche is here with this wild story. Zachary, good morning.
Whit, you just can't make this stuff up. They love a good storyline at the Derby. Yesterday, they got one for the ages. Nobody could have predicted this finish. The first time ever that the Derby winner has been stripped of a victory, and in the process, a long shot champ takes home the ultimate prize.
They're off. Questions this morning after a chaotic finish at one of the most famous horse races in the world.
Maximum Security wins the Kentucky Derby!
Officials at the 145th annual running of the Kentucky Derby pointing to this moment, saying the first horse across the finish line, Maximum Security, impeded the path of several other horses. After deliberation, Maximum Security's victory lap cut short and his title stripped.
They disqualified it.
They did.
Longshot Country House now declared the official winner. A historic and unprecedented ruling that shook up what's already been described as the most exciting 2 minutes in sports.
It's a great moment. It's a dream come true.
Maximum Security came into this year's Derby with a perfect record and a favorite to begin his quest for the Triple Crown.
Maximum Security has never lost a race.
But this trainer admitted that the horse might have drifted off its path.
It looked like he came out a little bit on the one horse.
The official review took nearly 20 minutes, an agonizing process for sports bettors, the result sending shockwaves through social media.
I mean, just imagine the domino effect of thinking you lost, and all of a sudden you have a winning ticket. You see the objection, and you're scouring, maybe even looking for tickets in the trash.
The disqualification cost bettors about $9 million. For those of you who bet on Country House, it was a good day. The second biggest payout in the Derby's history. A $2 bet would have returned $130 bucks. Not bad, huh?
I know, but if you thought you won with the first horse,
Exactly.
and then find out 20 minutes later you didn't.
Some of those people even waiting in line wondering, am I going to get paid out for this?
In that time in between, I think that everybody appreciates the ability to get things right.
Yes.
But 20 minutes?
That's a long time. I told these guys yesterday my money was on Country House.
Yeah,
That's right.
I saw this coming miles away.
Sports king.
Thank you, Zachary. Appreciate it.
Well, now to the investigation into the plane that skidded off the runway in Jacksonville, landing in a river. The NTSB recovering the flight data recorder, but still hasn't been able to get a hold of that crucial cockpit voice recorder. ABC's Victor Okendo is on the St. Johns River with the latest. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Eva. That cockpit voice recorder is still underwater. The NTSB is sending more investigators out here to the scene right behind us. We're hearing from a passenger this morning who was on board that flight. He says that when they tried landing, the plane bounced twice and then came to a violent stop in the water. He says that the top of the aircraft cracked and everyone inside got soaked. In a word, chaotic.
This morning, investigators back on the scene of this near tragedy in Jacksonville, working to determine how this Boeing 737 with 143 people on board overran the runway and slid into the river. The impact apparently slicing off the nose cone. Somehow, everyone survived.
For the most part, it was another miracle. I don't know how we survived.
Bob Gibson, a Navy vet, was on that flight, which was chartered by the Department of Defense, carrying military and civilians from Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, to the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville.
It was pretty chaotic. People were bouncing around, had been thrown around quite a bit. So for the first 30 to 45 seconds on the ground, it was pretty much chaos. People screaming, children crying, people calling out for help.
As rescue crews raced to the scene late Friday night, they found some passengers waiting on the wings, later huddled together inside this hangar. 22 people were taken to the hospital, including one child, but everyone is expected to be okay. Sadly, there were pets on board, and officials believe they may have died.
Our initial responders did look inside the cargo bay. They did not see anything. They did not hear any animal noises.
The NTSB says they'll be taking a close look at the weather when the plane tried landing. A strong storm was passing through the area at the time. The flight data recorder quickly recovered and sent to the laboratory in Washington, D.C.
The 737-800 is a very reliable airplane. There's no reason that it should run off the end of the runway. So things like weather factors, pilot error will be the places that investigators will be looking.
Bob Gibson is now back home in Virginia, feeling very fortunate.
Things could have turned out a lot worse than they did. I think God had his hand on that plane, and that's why I'm sitting here today.
And Gibson joked, saying he considered walking all the way home to Virginia, but he faced his fear. He got back on another plane. Meanwhile, this plane, no word on how long it might stay in the water. The NTSB says they're still looking at different ways to remove it. Dan?
Victor Arkendo with an incredible view there from the St. Johns River. Victor, thank you very much. We're going to move on now to a deadly crash on a highway in California. Flames engulfing a tour bus carrying a world-renowned choir. And ABC's Marcy Gonzalez is here with more, including details on an incredible act of resilience by the members of that choir. Marcy, good morning to you.
Hi, Dan. Good morning. That choir had just arrived in California and were on the road for only a few minutes when they were suddenly thrown from their seats in that crash. They managed to get off the bus just before it caught on fire. And yet these incredible college students decided the show they had traveled there for must go on. Their bus bursting into flames after a crash on a California freeway.
It's going to be a tour bus with 40 people on it, and then there's 4 other vehicles.
Yet overnight, just hours after escaping from the burning wreckage, the university choir that was on board taking the stage in this emotional performance.
It's like something out of a movie.
This group, known as the Aeolians of Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama, on their way to a hotel after landing in San Francisco when they were involved in a deadly chain reaction crash.
It was like a nightmare. I couldn't believe it was happening.
The impact igniting a fire which quickly engulfed the bus.
One of the young ladies that was directly in front of me, was crying and yelling and screaming because it was unreal.
Everyone on the bus managing to escape unhurt and with a new, powerful perspective.
To still be here and to still be able to minister through song, which is what the Aeolians is all about, is nothing but a blessing.
And there were several other vehicles involved in the crash. One person in an SUV that hit the bus was killed. We're told another person is hospitalized this morning, and the California Highway Patrol is investigating.
They are incredible, though.
Yeah. Absolutely. Really impressive group.
Thank you, Marcy.
Marcy, thank you. We do want to transition, though. 2 people have now been confirmed dead. 2 others still unaccounted for in that massive plant explosion in Illinois. The blast caught from a distance on surveillance video, causing a huge fire burning for hours. Officials say it happened around 9:30 Friday night. Cleaning crews had just finished their shifts at the silicone manufacturing facility. There were a handful of people, though, still inside.
Now to the 2020 race heating up. Democratic presidential candidates out in force this weekend, targeting key primary states and taking aim at President Trump. ABC's White House correspondent Tara Palmieri is on the North Lawn with the story. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning, Eva. Here's the thing. The first Democratic debate is next month in June, and there are more candidates than there are spots. So while they may be aiming their fire at President Trump, the real competition is among themselves, and many of these candidates have been crisscrossing the country just trying to gain the support to qualify for these debates.
I remember when people said that Barack Obama couldn't be elected.
As the Democratic field grows wider by the day, with more than 20 candidates, frontrunner Joe Biden in the battleground state of South Carolina this weekend, swinging hard at President Trump.
Above all else, we must defeat Donald Trump.
While President Trump claims this is his campaign message.
I'll be running on the economy.
In the past week, he retweeted more than 60 negative messages about Joe Biden. White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney telling Fox News that doesn't mean President Trump sees Biden as his top challenger.
I think he's just the latest flavor of the day, and I think, next week it'll be somebody else for the Democrats.
4 declared candidates descending on the battleground state of Texas this weekend. Mayor Pete Buttigieg's speech in Dallas, not without controversy. The openly gay candidate heckled by protesters.
I'm just thinking of that scripture that says, bless and do not curse.
Former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke defending his opponent in his home state.
The hatred directed towards Pete Buttigieg last night was not reflective or representative of my state.
And then later making a bold suggestion that President Trump must face consequences for the results of the Mueller report.
This is our country, and this is the one chance that we get to ensure that it remains a democracy and that no man, regardless of his position, is above the law.
Another top topic on the campaign trail was Attorney General William Barr's handling of the Mueller report. A lot of these candidates are calling on him to resign, like Senator Kamala Harris, Senator Cory Booker, and Mayor Julian Castro. But there was one leading candidate who didn't go that far, and that was Senator Bernie Sanders. Dan?
Tara, thank you very much. And speaking of Bernie Sanders, this morning, the senator from Vermont is reacting to the new candidacy, relatively new candidacy, of the apparent frontrunner, Joe Biden. ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl, hit the trail with Sanders. Take a listen.
I'm sure you saw Joe Biden say that he is the most progressive candidate in this race.
Well, look, Joe is a good friend of mine, and I'm not here to attack Joe. Joe voted for the war in Iraq. I led the effort against it. Joe voted for NAFTA and permanent normal trade relations, trade agreements with China. I led the effort against that. Joe voted for the deregulation of Wall Street. I voted against that. I think if you look at Joe's record and you look at my record, I don't think there's much question about who's more progressive.
And John is with us now from Washington. John, good morning. I love when people say, he's my friend and I'm not going to attack him, but then they go and attack him. And you're going to have much more on your interview with Bernie later this morning. I just wonder, though, do these comments that we just heard from the senator indicate that Joe Biden has a serious problem on his left flank here?
Well, Dan, what they indicate is that we are going to see in this primary a battle for the ideological soul of the Democratic Party. These are significant, real differences, and Bernie Sanders is not waiting to take aim at Joe Biden. And by the way, Elizabeth Warren is also showing that she's willing to take on Biden. This primary is going to be very interesting, and usually you have a period where the candidates wait before taking on one another, but that is not happening here. The battle is on.
Yeah, everybody has to make their mark in such a crowded field. Let me switch subjects now, politically speaking, and talk about international affairs, because we have a new video this morning of the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, personally overseeing some missile launches this weekend. And I know you have the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, on the show this morning. What does this latest provocation from North Korea mean for President Trump, who really has staked his reputation, at least in part, on his peace negotiations with this unpredictable dictator?
Well, I think that you point to the key factor here, which is you see Kim Jong-un personally overseeing these military tests. Look, this was not a nuclear test. It was not an intercontinental ballistic missile test. Those are the two that North Korea has promised to not do while these negotiations go on. But this was clearly a provocation, and a provocation overseen by the man that the President Trump calls his friend and says that he is confident he can work out a deal with. This comes as North Korea has also said that they are essentially putting a deadline. They want to see action. They want to see something from the United States before the end of the year. I think we are nearing a very critical inflection point with the North Korea talks, and it'd be very interesting to see how Mike Pompeo responds to all this. He has been much more, let's say, skeptical about North Korea's intentions than his boss, the president.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing that. John, thank you very much. Always great to talk to you on a Sunday morning. I want to remind everybody, John has a big show this morning. He'll have more from that exclusive interview on the campaign trail in Iowa with Senator Bernie Sanders. Plus, as discussed, he's going to go one-on-one with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo for the latest on the U.S. response both to North Korea and the ongoing crisis in Venezuela. It's all coming up on This Week later this morning right here on ABC. Eva, over to you.
Well, President Trump's former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen is counting down his last hours as a free man. Cohen is due to report to a federal prison in upstate New York Monday morning, where he will begin serving a 3-year sentence for tax evasion, lying to Congress, and campaign finance crimes. He will be in the same federal prison as Jersey Shore's Mike the Situation Sorrentino and the Fire Festival founder Billy McFarland.
The University of North Carolina at Charlotte student credited with saving lives when a gunman opened fire in his class will be buried with full military honors. Witnesses say 21-year-old Riley Howell knocked the assailant to the ground before being fatally shot during the April 30th attack. People lining the streets of his hometown of Waynesville, North Carolina, waving American flags as the fallen ROTC cadet was brought home. The university has said that both he and another student who was killed will receive posthumous degrees.
It's really an incredible story. We're going to switch gears now and move on to something much, much lighter. The suspense over when baby Sussex will be born. ABC's Amy Robach is in Windsor, where she's been for 9 months or so, and many royal watchers are on tenterhooks this morning. Amy, good morning.
That's right. It feels like 9 months, Dan. I'm not going to lie here. Yes, we are still waiting in Windsor, and the media presence is certainly growing. There are quite a few journalists from around the world now camped out on the corner right below me, waiting for any word of baby Sussex. So far, it's been crickets, guys. Of course, the royal couple also waiting. Harry and Meghan about a half a mile down the road behind me in Frogmore Cottage on the grounds of Windsor Castle. And according to friends who have spoken to her, she is calm and happily awaiting her new arrival with Prince Harry and Mother Doria by her side. And this morning, the Mail on Sunday releasing some sweet photos of the royal mother-to-be as a child, seen giggling with the friend. Her Uncle Joseph sharing these photos with the paper, perhaps giving us a glimpse of what baby Sussex may look like. And where is baby Sussex, you ask, as we've all been asking? Well, Meghan is almost officially a week late past her due date, which is when doctors here typically start discussing inducing a mother of Meghan's age, but we're not there yet. So today we're going to do what we've been doing for the past 7 days and happily await some news. We're going to hear from Buckingham Palace when she goes into labor, and then there will be another announcement when she actually gives birth. So fingers crossed. Cinco de Mayo I'm just looking for anything that maybe might bring baby Sussex along. So I'd be happy to drink a margarita in his or her behalf.
This baby has a mind of its own. It's going to come when it wants to come, right? Well, time now
As they all do, right?
Yeah, you can't force them out. They come when they want. Yeah. Well, it's time now for a check of our weather with Rob Marciano.
Let's go. Get that baby out. Andale, arriba. It's time. Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Let's show you what's going on weather-wise. Dan rolling his eyes right now. There in the back of his head. Here's what happened yesterday. Southeast parts of Georgia. Wilmington Island there, just to the east of Savannah, a reported tornado doing some damage there at the marina, as well as Savannah Yacht Club, and one person was injured. Also in Alabama, trees down because of winds and power lines as well. So powerful storms rolling across the southeast, all with this system finally on the move. And boy, is it a nasty Sunday morning across D.C., Philadelphia, up through New York. And now we've got flood watches that are posted from New Jersey all the way back through eastern parts of Kentucky, where it was definitely a muddy track yesterday. Severe storms, eastern parts of Carolina, the mid-Atlantic, and eastern parts of Virginia, clearing out late in the day. But a number of baseball games, including the NASCAR race today in Dover, is definitely going to be affected by this. And we got a couple of pockets of severe weather later on today and tomorrow across parts of the plains, and a bigger deal coming this week. We'll talk more about that in a second.